This episode is going to explore the Sumerian civilization at the very beginning of the Bronze Age. The period we will explore is referred to as the Uruk period, named after the most prominent city of the time, Uruk, located in ancient Mesopotamia. The Sumerians arrived on the scene around 4000 BC. We don't know where they came from exactly, or even if they arrived by invasion, migration, or both. Although the Uruk period lasted to around 3000 BC, give or take, the Sumerian civilization would continue long after that. It was in the Uruk period, however, that the cities of the time experienced a massive population boost and grew in size as a result, and Uruk became the largest of them all. It was a massive walled city, encompassing about 6 kilometers. It had canals large enough to sail boats through, as well as other huge construction projects. Each Sumerian city-state had a temple dedicated to the worship of its local deity, and during the Uruk period, the temple was also the government. At the top of Sumerian society, a head priest acted as ruler of the state. However, Uruk differed slightly. It had 2 temples and 2 patron deities, dividing the city into 2 districts. The first was the Anu district, based around the White Temple and the worship of Anu, god of the sky. The second was the Inanna district, based around the temple known as the House of Heaven, and the worship of Inanna, goddess of love and war. It is uncertain how the city governed itself. Did it have 2 head priests, or just one with the authority of both temples? Whatever the model they used, it worked, because Uruk's influence was vast. The region lacked many natural resources, wood, stone, and metal ores, so trade was essential, and Uruk became a great trading hub and the centre of a far-reaching trading network. Uruk seems to have set up colonies throughout Mesopotamia. Archaeology has discovered Urukan-style architecture, pottery and tools at the sites of these colonies dated to the Uruk period. Some of these colonies were settled by the Urukans. Others were previously settled with Urukans living alongside the original inhabitants, whilst others were clearly settled by Uruk after military conquest. A good example of this would be the city of Hamilcar, which was burned to the ground and then rebuilt in the Urukan style. However, these colonies are viewed less like an empire and more of an economic and cultural domination based on Uruk's trading network. However, none of this could be possible without a number of very important innovations and inventions that came about during this period. The first of which was the plough. The earliest example of which we know of dates back to around 4000 BC. The plough enabled farmers to churn up the soil before planting. Together with better irrigation systems, more food could be grown with less manual effort, freeing up labour for other things. Also, around 4000 BC, the first wheeled transports appear, so a larger quantity of goods could be transported longer distances at a time. These technologies were certainly essential for the expansion of the Sumerian city-states during this period, as well as the development of trading networks. By 3000 BC, there had been an important improvement in metal production. By adding tin stone to copper ore, bronze was created. Bronze was a harder, stronger metal with a sharper edge, and it melts at a lower temperature, making it easier to cast. Bronze allowed better tools and harder weapons to be made. This was the beginning of the Bronze Age. It was also around this time that the first writing in Mesopotamia appears. However, during the Uruk period it was still very primitive and used for things like taxes, record keeping and trade transactions, that sort of thing. We do see the invention of the cylinder seal at this time. A circular stone seal with a pattern carved in it was rolled along clay to imprint that pattern. The clay would then harden, preserving it. It was used like a personal signature for signing documents or stamping ownership. They were worn around the neck and became an important status symbol. You know, look at me, I'm important, I need to sign documents, that sort of thing. At around 3000 BC, the Uruk period came to a mysterious and sudden end. We know Uruk's outposts were abandoned and that trade routes were cut, and that the towns and villages that had adopted Urukan-style influence reverted back to their former ways. There was a total collapse in the entire region and is a mystery still hotly debated today. When the Sumerians recovered from the collapse, temple rule and its priest rulers had been replaced by kings and palaces. As for the city of Uruk, it did remain an important city, but it was no longer the powerhouse it had once been. However, the simple but effective technologies founded in this era had a long-lasting legacy in the story of civilization. Thank you for watching, and if you like my content, don't forget to leave a comment, like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.